Did you know that the only place that Hanukkah is mentioned in the entire Bible is in the New Testament? Most would think that it's talked about in the Old Testament because they associate Hanukkah as a Jewish holiday. But the reality is, beloved one, the only place it's mentioned is in the Gospel of John, chapter 10, verse 22. It's referred to there as the Feast of Dedication because the English translation of the word Hanukkah is dedication. The reason it's only mentioned in the New Testament is because the historical events that led to the celebration of Hanukkah took place between the time that the Old Testament writings were finished, but before the time that the New Testament writings began. So the time between the end of the Old Testament and the beginning of the New Testament writings is called the intertestamental period. And the historical events, once again, that led to the celebration of Hanukkah took place in the intertestamental period. That's why it's never referred to in the Old Testament. What happened was, although Jewish people were living in the land of Israel, they were being subject to the Greco-Assyrian government. And the Jewish people living in the land of Israel got so fed up with being subject to and oppressed by the Greco-Assyrians that they revolted. They were successful in driving the Greco-Assyrian influence out of their land governmentally to such an extent that they recaptured the temple that the Greco-Assyrians had profaned. And when they recaptured the temple, they cleansed the temple and they rededicated, that's why it's referred to in John 10:22 as the Feast of Dedication. They rededicated the temple back to the God of Israel. And one of the things that they did was they lit the oil in the menorah, the holy menorah. Now, tradition tells us that when they lit the oil in the menorah, there was only enough oil for that menorah to burn for one day, but that it supernaturally burned for 8 days, and thus we celebrate Hanukkah for 8 days and call it a season of miracles. I want to say to you today, those of you that know Messiah Jesus and that are in a relationship with Father God, you are a miracle. You're a sign and a wonder, and you're going to continue to be changed from glory to glory.